Welcome to the Colorado Fire College Podcast, your source for knowledge to keep you in the fight. Stay tuned for the latest educational lectures, new product reviews, and interviews with the top firefighting professionals.
And 5, you ready?
Let's get started. Here are your hosts, Lieutenant Chris Gay and firefighter EMT Eric Scholl.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Colorado Fire College Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Gay.
And I'm firefighter EMT Eric Scholl.
And today we're going to talk about academies. You got past the interview process. You nailed that. Now you have academy coming up. There's 3 major types of academy, and Eric wants to talk about them.
The first type is volunteer academy, which is going to be for, obviously, volunteer fire departments, where that's the position you're going for or that you got. Then the next type is college fire academies. So usually through like a community college, or I think there are some universities that have them, but I think mostly it's through community colleges. And then the third one being career academies, which is where you're hired for a paid fire department or in a paid position, and you go to that department's academy, and you're paid for that academy. So there's always going to be the same types of requirements, but there's going to be some slight differences between them that are good to know and be prepared for.
I guess the biggest thing between the difference is the level of commitment and expectations. Obviously, with volunteers, people know that you're volunteering your time, that you're volunteering your energy, and that you could be doing something else with that time and energy. The next big thing is whether there is an actual call commitment during the academy or whether you're relieved of those duties.
Right.
I know if you're a career academy, you're not online yet, so obviously you have no call expectations. But if you're working, a volunteer academy, you may have some call expectations while you're in the academy.
Mm-hmm.
Another big deal about the volunteer side of it is there are 2 different types of academies in the volunteer realm. There is the exterior firefighter and the interior structural firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
One obviously is focused to be very short and not as demanding, where the other one obviously takes the same as would in career when it comes to the didactic portion.
Yeah. And one of the differences, like how Chris was saying with the time commitment, is simply just with volunteer, people have full-time jobs, like they have lives that they have to take care of and all that stuff. So usually for them, it's like, I believe it's 2 days a week usually. Any days, whatever works for people or whatever they think will be able to fit into their schedule. But with career, then it's going to be Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday all day, but that's because you're being paid. So it's not as difficult to have a time that works for people, if it's your job. But yeah, with volunteer academies, that's something that's a struggle, is just trying to find good days to do it on that everyone can actually make it there. And then with college academies, it's kind of the same, because you might have a job or something outside of school. And so it's also, I believe, 2 days, maybe 3 days a week.
But that's slightly different because you know about the commitment when you sign up for it before you pay that tuition bill.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel if you're, scheduling work at the same time you're supposed to be in class, that's on you, go pound sand.
Yeah. Pretty much. There's a lot of just different variations, but it's going to be the same exact expectations as far as, if you're getting your firefighter 1, for instance, they have to meet a national standard for that, so it's like you have to be proficient in this, you need to know this, you need to be taught this, sometimes even in this way. So no matter what, if it's volunteer or whether it's college or career, they all have to meet those requirements either way. So
one of the benefits over volunteer over the college didactic-based version is that some of the volunteer departments are now teaching Fire 1 and Fire 2 in academy co-current. So you're getting the didactic level of both of them, where if you did that in the college level, you'd have to pay for them separately.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. Yeah, all free with volunteer. Mm-hmm. They should be doing that. And then you get your cert out of it, and it's not going to say like whether you went to a college academy or what. It's just going to say Firefighter 1. So, that's a good way to do it if you don't really want to pay the money for the college courses, which can be pretty expensive.
And then circling back to the last one, which is Career Academy, the Holy Grail, this one has the most stringent expectations. Obviously, they're concerned about making, amazing all-star firefighters. But I do want to mention one of the crappy things about it is that if you are a volunteer firefighter and you've already got an academy, guess what? You get a repeat.
Yeah, and that's how most career fire departments operate is it does not matter what certs you have or what your experience is. You have to go to their academy. So, yeah, you could be even like a lieutenant or a captain volunteer firefighter somewhere. But if you get hired by this career department, you are back at the bottom and you have to basically go through it all again. So you just repeat the academy. And as Chris was saying, the expectations, like physically especially, are much, much harder with career because, again, they're paying you to be there so they can be hard on you. And the physical part is something a lot of people underestimate. So you need to be very physically fit before career academies. And, yes, you will have to do it no matter what.
And if you do get that honor of transitioning from a volunteer department to a career department, the best advice I can give you for first year is, get there, sit down, shut up, absorb their way, learn how to do it their way. Don't bring up how your old department did it. Don't bring up examples from the past. Honestly, the best thing you can do is to shut up, sit down, and just absorb everything.
Yeah, then you'll learn how they do things and all that stuff. And it sucks, and no one wants to have to do that, but it's honestly just the best thing for your reputation and future there.
But now you've gotten through the career academy. You get through that point. I honestly suggest that you spend a minimum of 3 years at that station or at that department so that should you get the opportunity to go somewhere else, you might be able to lateral and avoid doing a full-blown academy. Do just a condensed academy where you just learn their version, their ways of how to do things, but not have to repeat the same 26-week grueling academy.
Yeah.
Lateraling is honestly a great opportunity for a lot of people, especially if you've got great certifications like hazmat technician, paramedic, confined space rescue, water rescue, things like that.
Yeah, that'll all benefit you. And they usually have an academy for people that are lateral hires. However, it's like 4 weeks or something like that. Like, it's pretty short, and it's just
some are 8 weeks, but it's very condensed comparatively.
Yeah, with regular ones being like 18 weeks, 20-some weeks, and all that. So they may still do an academy for you, but it's mostly like to teach you how their department does what they expect you already know from previous academies or experience.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. As always, like, listen, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Be safe out there.
See you next time.